What is up, YouTube? It's Profit Day Trader here, and today is part 6 of the beginner series of Think or Swim by TD Ameritrade. Now, in this last video, we went into the chart settings in part 5. So we went through the settings, what all these buttons mean, what outside of here means, and stuff like that. So in today's video, we're going to be focusing on this button right here. If you look at it, the setup button. Real quick, if you click on it, there's going to be some stuff that pops up. I'm going to go through it very quickly, but we're going to be focusing on this application settings right here. So real quick, an open shared item, once you set up all your settings, you have everything exactly the way you like, you can actually share your workspace. So you can actually share it, and so right now I have my actual day trading setup when I do this for money. But you can actually save your whole setup, and then even if you go to a completely different computer, you can send it to yourself, load it up on a different computer, a laptop, a different desktop, and it'll actually pop up exactly the way that you set it up. So this is very important. These buttons can be important, and also you can also save it. So this is where you save it, or you can also, this is where you would share your workspace. So these buttons, I'm not really sure what lock application means. I never use this, and this is the actual saved setup here. So these areas here are going to be mostly to preserve all the work that you did. So once you go through, it's going to take hours to go through, set everything up exactly the way you like it. You don't want to lose that. So they have these options here, so you can actually share your workspace online. You can give it to other people and stuff like that. So that's what all these buttons here mean. So we're going to actually go in today's video, we're going to go through this application settings here. Now, there's not a ton of important buttons in here, but the ones that are very important. So if you look to the left, right now we're under the general tab, and there's a bunch of sub tabs within this. So if you look at the account, we don't need to touch anything here. Orders, not super worried about. These default settings are fine. Positions, again, these are all fine. These are typical. You don't want to touch these. Now, active trader is where we're going to start. I'm not sure if I'm hoping yours is exactly the same as this, but you want this order submission rate limit to be at 0 seconds, and you want the auto center. This is active trader. 18 means active trader. You want the price ladder to be every 3 seconds. So if you look at this here, this actually affects this. So if you see it, right now it's bouncing around. Now right now, see how it's centered itself? It keeps moving. Now watch, in 3 more seconds, it'll center again. And then in 3 more seconds, it'll center again. That's what this is telling me here. So you want that to constantly update. 3 seconds is the minimum, unfortunately. I wish it was quicker, but you want that to be set at the minimum. So if this is the settings you want to have in case yours isn't like that. System, again, probably the most important feature here is you want this quote speed to be real time, no delay. So you look in here, if you look at this, if you see my cursor, this real time data is the most important, because if this is not real time, you will not be able to day trade at all. It's impossible. So you want to make sure that this is in real time data. If it does not say real time data, you're going to have to contact TD Ameritrade, and I think you have to apply for it on their actual brokerage accounts. You might have to log in your TD Ameritrade and apply for it. So again, real-time data is extremely important. Security, wouldn't worry about this too much. I would never lock yourself out. That sounds dangerous. Startup, I think this is fine. Last application state is good. Look and feel, you can mess around with a little bit. If you see the buttons, you can kind of, like, I set everything at small. If you want to have the text a little bit bigger, you can see everything pops up a little bit bigger. It doesn't apply yet, but we'll just apply it real quick to show you. See, everything got bigger. For me personally, I don't need it. You might, I'm not sure, what your preference is, but that's how you change that. No big deal. Look and feel. I'm gonna change this back to small. Spacing, you can do tight. You can do roomy. Again, I have everything that I just have it normal because tight gets too much. And then it's just a preview window of what's happening. Okay, display, I wouldn't touch anything in here. This isn't anything super important. Calculations, I wouldn't mess with. And language is default to English, but you can change this here if you need it. Notifications. Now I turn all my notifications off. You may not want to do this as a beginner, just in case, because just in case you mess up or do something wrong, you want to see it pop up here. But it also is right here under messages. So these notifications come in this message. See how right now it's highlighted, it's blinking. This is where my message. So if I ever am confused, I click on this button here, and that's where I would see my notifications. But I turn these off for one big reason. Thinkorswim, for some reason or another, their notifications pop up right here. They like to block the price of the stock. I'm not sure why it pops up right here, but they start popping up, and it's usually at the worst time, and it messes up my trading. So that's the only reason why I turn off all of these notifications here. If we go over to order defaults, now there's some important stuff here. Now, this is where, now again, I don't deal with options, futures, or Forex. So if you deal with those type of stocks, you'd have to look up what some of these, I don't know what these mean as far as for options, Forex, stuff like that. But as far as stocks, default order type I wouldn't touch. Default stop type I wouldn't touch. But these are the three that you can, this is where you're going to determine what you like to trade, how many shares you like to trade, and what your limit is. Now, I put 20,000 quantity. That's probably way too much. Probably do 10,000 quantity. So what this is telling the computer is it's pretty much stopping you. It's like self-discipline. You can't, if I set this to 10,000, they will not let me buy 11,000 shares of the stock. It'll only let you buy 10,000. So this is, if you know yourself, you know you can't control yourself, you're going to overspend, you're going to overtrade. You can set this limit to 100 shares if you want. They won't let you buy more than 100 shares. Now you could buy 100 shares 10 times, but you're less likely to do that. I mean, you're more likely to stop at your limit. So if you know yourself, you know how you trade, you know what you want to risk, this is a good way to kind of control yourself in those moments, because when you're in those fragile moments, you can make a dumb mistake pretty quick when you get too emotional. So this is a good way to prevent that. These two are the ones that affect these buttons here. So if you see this right here, right now it's at 200, right? So I'm going to change it to 100 just to show you what happens. So I'm going to change to 100, and order increment, I'm going to keep it at 100 to show you in a little bit. Now, if you look at this, default 100. See right now these buttons are 200, 600, 1,000, 2,000, 4,000. These are the default quantity buttons. But when I go to hit apply, I just change to 100. It goes, see, I went to 100, 300, 500. So this is how you customize. So if you like a certain amount of shares, you can go as low as you like and go as high as you like. So I'm going to go back to this spot here. So say you don't have much money in your account, and like, you know what, I only usually mess with 5 to 50 shares. So you can go, now the only problem I have, I like this setting. The only problem I have with it is I can't control all 5 buttons. I can only control the first one, and then they do their multipliers. It goes times 3, times 5, times 10, times 20. So that's always set. You can't change these 4. You can only change the first one. So again, if you know yourself, if you know how much money you want to risk, so this is where you would change these numbers to change your default quantity orders. This is very important. And the last thing is, it's very important. Again, this is more on the advanced side, so I wouldn't worry about this just too yet, but understand you will be coming back to us at a future date. Hotkeys are very, very, very important in the day trading world. Now, I'm just gonna give you, if you're not sure what hotkeys are, is it performs a function automatically based upon the key command that you give it. So if you look over here, let's say I wanted to trade. All I have to hit is Control Z. Instead of going through all this, I don't even have to look at this window here. All I have to hit is Control Z, and it'll buy whatever quantity that I'm listed at. So this is used. This is very, very important. This is how you get in and out of trades very quickly. This is very important for day trading because a lot of these decisions are within a second or two. So you want to save as much time as possible. You don't want to be sitting around looking for buttons. In the beginning, it's fine. You want to go in the beginning. You want to just go, click buttons. Take your time. You're not using too much money anyway, so that's fine. But later on, we start using a little more money. You don't want to. These are valuable seconds looking for buttons and trying to change stuff. So you want to be in and out very, very quickly. And then my profile is just your profile information. So yeah, so that's it for this video. Again, if you're new to this series, consider subscribing to this channel. I post videos weekly, all day trading stuff. I'm also going to be having another series coming up for beginners. It's going to be a day trading class to learn like stock terminology and stuff like that. So again, if you found any value in these videos, I'd appreciate if you liked the videos, subscribe to the channel, and yeah, thank you guys so much. I appreciate it. And I'll see you guys in the next one.